Hi, I'm Jim Epley, President of JD's Tax and Financial Solutions. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Fiscal Cliff Tax Bill that was recently signed into law. What the Fiscal Cliff Tax Bill is, what it consists of, is an extension of a lot of the favorable tax rates, favorable capital gains rates, favorable dividend rates, some other deductions that we've been enjoying over the last 12 years. These were extended by the Fiscal Cliff Tax Bill. I personally am going to enjoy a lot of these things. On the other side of it, the government needs money. We don't agree with what they need the money for, which is to continually increase the size of the government. There's a lot of frivolous spending that goes on. So I know there's many people out there that don't agree with where the government money is going in the first place. But the country is in debt and they simply need to cut the spending down, but there's a lot of debt that needs to be handled too. So I don't know where everything's going. All we really did was push the issue out a little bit further with this Fiscal Cliff Tax Bill. Basically the debt's going to continue to pile on, and who knows when it's going to be addressed, or if it's going to be addressed, or what's going to happen overall with the United States of America. But anyhow, we're not here to talk about that. I'm here to tell you what's involved in the Fiscal Cliff Tax Bill. Again, most of the tax rates, the 15% tax rates on capital gains, 15% dividend rates, the lower tax rates for lower income taxpayers, we still have a 0% tax rate on the first lower amount of income. We have a 10% tax rate, a 15% tax rate. A lot of these deductions and tax rates are now still in place. The people that really got hit the hardest on this Fiscal Cliff Tax Bill is incomes above $250,000. Anybody with incomes above $250,000 are now going to be subjected to a 3.8% Medicare tax. Medicare surtax is what they're calling it. But they're going to end up paying more Medicare tax than they were paying before. So that's anybody that's above $250,000. Anybody that's above $400,000 for single filers, or above $450,000 for joint return filers, they're actually seeing an increase in tax rates from the top rate of 35% is now going to be a top rate of 39.6%. So they've seen a tax hike there. In addition, anybody that's over $400,000 for single, $450,000 for joint, is also going to see an increase in the capital gains tax rates. Instead of 15%, they're going to see a 20% tax rate. Dividends also going to be a 20% tax rate for them. So they're the ones that got hit the hardest. And that's the 2% of taxpayers. So 98% of the people out there are going to enjoy the same great tax rates we've had. Here in Nevada, we're still going to be able to deduct our state sales tax. Since we don't have an income tax here, we'll get to enjoy that state sales tax deduction, along with any other state that doesn't have income tax, such as Florida, Texas, Washington, just to name a few. Another thing that got passed, and I believe this is one of the big parts of why this Fiscal Cliff Tax Bill got passed, was the AMT, which is basically, that's a tax. It's alternative minimum tax. That's what AMT stands for. That was initially proposed or put in place years ago to make sure that nobody got out of paying too much tax, didn't take too many deductions. So it's an alternative to your minimum tax, and really people just ended up paying more tax. Well, that's been affecting taxpayers a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more each year, and had this bill not been passed, the IRS would have had to reprogram their computers, and nobody would have been able to file tax returns for probably 2 months, which would be late March of the first filing, and then to have everything due by April 15th, it would have been practically impossible, if not impossible, to process all those returns on the part of us as tax preparers, on the part of taxpayers trying to get in to get their tax returns done, on the part of IRS trying to process those returns. So I truly think that's one of the big things that got this bill passed. Again, it just pushes things out till later. But for now, that's my take on the fiscal cliff tax bill. So hope you enjoyed watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. 702-639-9130. Thank you.